Hello everyone and welcome to the June edition of Price Know How Snippets. I'm joined today by our chairman Mike Oswell and our product manager for Standard Polymers Ian Chisnell. Mike's going to start off as always by talking about exchange rates and oil prices and other fundamentals that are likely to impact on polymer prices. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Katherine. On oil, it's a story of lower lows and lower highs. So the trend we've seen pretty much all year towards weakening oil prices continued from April into May. So the average dropped from 66.30 per barrel to 63.84. That's minus $2.46. The minimum fell from 62.82 to 60.23, a drop of $2.59. And the maximum fell from 74.95 to 66.63, a drop of $8.32. For those who prefer our numbers in pounds per tonne, that's a fall from 379.84 to 359.83. That's a reduction of £20 and 1 pence. So again, just reflecting that weakness in terms of perception of the global economy, largely caused by the Trump presidency, uncertainty over duties. In terms of exchange rates, similar effect really, actually, although the pound is increasingly seen as a strong currency. So we saw the pound improve against the euro from 117 in April to 119 in May. Also shift against the dollar from 131 to 134. And just for reference, the euro dollar rate went from 112 to 113. So that kind of demonstrates that pound strength. How that all translates into polymer prices, well, over to Ian.
Thanks very much, Mike. So although oil prices shifted down slightly, that was not reflected in monomers. So that's largely driven by supply-demand balance. A few crackers out, so availability of ethylene and propylene not as strong as it has been. So they both rolled over. So C2 rolling over at 1135 euros and propylene rolling over at 1,015 euros a tonne. Styrene was slightly different in that it's not so dependent on naphtha. €7 to 1409 euros per metric ton. And what we're seeing in polymer pricing is, typically speaking, it's following the monomer. In polyethylene, that's certainly the case. LLDPE is starting to actually go up in some instances because availability is not as strong as it was. HDPE, LDPE, broadly flat. Polypropylene at the moment looks like a rollover. What's going to affect things will be the supply-demand balance. So if we get some interruptions to supply, and there's a few little things that might affect it, then we'll probably see a rollover on polypropylene. Polystyrene appears to be dropping around about 45 euros a tonne, in line roughly with the monomer. Supply-demand on polystyrene appears to be relatively well balanced. So we've got a few slight improvements in some sectors that take polystyrene, and the supply is sort of relatively okay and in line with that. So just falling in line with the cost.
Thank you very much, Ian. And as always, more information will be out middle of the month in the full Price Know How report. But in the meantime, if you do need any additional information, then please speak to myself, Mike, or Ian. We'd be delighted to help you, or indeed contact you.
Thank you.
Thank you.